What has this pandemic ruined for you? My dad has emphysema and has started showing signs of having contracted the virus. So I have to sit here and watch him get sicker and sicker every day because he can't get tested. I'm preparing myself mentally for this virus to kill him. He's always had health problems, and we are careful to make sure he doesn't even contract the common cold. This has been a nightmare. It's ruined my state of mind, my everyday life, my everything. I have Crohn's disease that I've been struggling to get under control again since July last year. Now I can't even go in for follow-up treatments under the new Surgeon General restrictions. Just pray the meds I have now will start working again. Also, the lack of toilet paper is just infuriating as someone who has to go several times in one day. Fellow Cron, get yourself a bidet. It'll change your life. Like $30 and 10 minutes to install. I recommend Luke's bidet. I imagine they have probably been sold out already with this toilet paper thing, but even after, when it calms down, get that bidet life. My wife was looking at doing this morning. IDK what type or brand, but they still were available. Honestly, it's a good idea. A friendship. My best friend is still having a wedding tomorrow. We live in the US in a place where it's gotten pretty bad. Literally everything has cancelled or asked her to reschedule, but she said no. Instead, she got an Airbnb and is doing it all herself despite the rules and guidelines. I'm the maid of honor. I had to tell her yesterday that I couldn't go because I didn't think it was safe. She did not respond well, like at all. I have a lung condition and my partner has asthma. It made no sense for us to go to a gathering like a wedding right now. She told me that I was choosing fear of a little virus over her special day. I've tried calling her several times and she won't answer my calls. She said she is disgusted by me. Everything about this f***ing sucks so much, and based on her reactions I don't think she will ever see it from my side. Edit. Thanks for all the support, guys. Feels nice when I'm questioning my decision as I watch the Snap stories and IG stories of the 3 bridesmaids who didn't back out. My parents are sick and I can't go visit them. Mood friend. My father got a terminal diagnosis of 6 months, 2 years about 3 weeks before it got really bad here. He lives in another country and IDK when I'm gonna be able to visit him. I'm doing extra quarantine procedures to protect myself, but man, I dunno. We WhatsApp and FaceTime all the time, but it's not the same, and I haven't seen him in almost a year. On top of everything, the NCAA tournament got cancelled, which is a big bonding thing for the two of us. I'm worried he won't get another one. Sucks. My business has to declare bankruptcy. I have to fire 5 people with no financial support to offer them, and I myself will be homeless. So pretty much ruined my life. Hey man. This is not legal advice, but if you are in America and you rent or own your home mortgaged, the moratorium on evictions and foreclosures can keep you in a home at least for a little bit. If you have to let employees go, look at your state's unemployment qualifications, as many have made an unpaid leave of absence a qualifying term. Additionally, and I'm not suggesting you go into debt here, but if the US govt, and you are in the US, passes the forgivable loans for paying expenses and salaries, you might consider that to at least buy you some time to get on your feet. Really sorry to hear this for you, though. I'm in the same position and I'm doing everything possible, but still getting destroyed. And, in response to someone else's comment that you might have already been on the verge, that is not necessarily the case. We were not on the verge at all and just hitting our busy season, but our services and billables are tied to markets that are crashing and those that have been postponed, closed, or otherwise, court closures. Having loved ones in nursing homes that are closed to visitors. The rule is completely reasonable and necessary. Still, we miss each other. They feel isolated and lonely as they are not physically able to talk on the phone, hard of hearing too, and have no one to spend time with them. This breaks my heart. My mom is in the hospital, and I'm scared they will tell us that there is no more visiting until further notice. Also, she is on a vent, so I don't want it to get to a situation where they are going to choose who gets a vent and who doesn't, because I know the hospital she is at is already short on them without a pandemic. Small businesses. These guys are going to be decimated. My sister's business is primarily events based. We just got notice that our 2 anchor events are cancelled. $20,000 just poof. I work in catering events. Thanks to the coronavirus, all major events have been cancelled, plus most of the smaller ones. I'm currently applying for jobs. Still hopeful. Yeah, I own a medium-sized business, 150 employees. I'm a natural saver and have been saving for recession since 2016. So I'm in a better spot than most, but with the current devastation I still think we can only hang on about 6 to 8 months. No layoffs yet, just small cut on hours, but the longer it goes there is only so much I can do. Wow, 150 employees, and you plan to survive for 6 to 8 months. Congrats my dude, good job. Meanwhile, much larger businesses with billions stowed away in the Caymans are already shaking the poverty Dixie cup, begging for billions of dollars of free money so they can pay out dividends to the shareholders, or else they'll do mass layoffs after a few days. Just my career and social life NBD. Same. I think that's the worst part, is that people are losing income and their jobs over this entire thing. We all need some form of relief. Last Thursday I sat in bed and scrolled Twitter watching as all my income for the next several months disappeared in the span of 24 hours. I work in the entertainment industry and every single gig I had lined up got cancelled. It sucks. Man, I'm in nightlife and let me tell you, I can relate to that. The place I work at is known for having live performances almost every night. Now that we are forced to close indefinitely, I can only imagine the struggles of our performers. Online dating meet after corona? Corona and chill? Corona and chills and fever? Hey babe, I want to quarantine with ya. Edit. I love how this has become a series of coronavirus pickup lines. Hey girl, a lot of people are making bad decisions during this crisis, and I was just hoping I could be yours. My motivation to study. Did you have it before? It was slowly growing, then shot back down after school told us to stay home. Man, me too. I was getting A's on tests after midterms before quarantine. Now, just play games all day and I have a paper due next week. Ditto. And all my uni deadlines got pushed back by 2 weeks. I went from oh shit tons of time to get this stuff written and sent off, and I have to make a routine to keep on top of it. To Divinity 2 is on sale and I need to finish Persona 5. My mom turned 60 in April and has never been to Europe, and for the first time I'm in a really good place economically that I got the two of us tickets to fly into London and have a 2-week gallivant around the continent. She never thought she'd be able to go, and she's been so excited planning since I gave her the tickets on Christmas. Calling her to tell her we needed to cancel for now was really tough. Edit. Thanks for the gold, but also donate the money instead. Meals on Wheels is helping feed the most susceptible population, or buy gift cards or takeaway it from your local shops. I've got it lucky that my job was already work from home, but friends of mine who are coffee shop owners are barely inching by with no relief in sight. A gift card is an interest-free loan. Second edit. Holy cow, lots of replies. I really appreciate all the well wishes, and honestly we are both doing great. Rebooking has been a breeze. Airline waived the fees, and Airbnb has been relaxed with their refund policy, so we are only out the original timing. Both my mom and I are able to work from home in pretty secure, decent paying jobs. There's so many other people on here with really tragic permanent fallout from the pandemic. Show them the love. There are a lot of sad stories on this thread, but yours really broke my heart. You, for being so sweet and wanting to help your mom and sensing her excitement and anticipation. I hope you get to do this after the craziness is over. I'm a restaurant bartender in Florida. This was going to be a really busy spring break for us after a slow winter that got me behind on bills. They haven't told us to go to takeout only yet, but I feel like it's coming soon. Our neighbors get the bulk of their cash flow during spring break and it tides them over for the rest of the year. Spring break was just shut down, so they are scrambling. This pandemic is really showing just how close to being out on the street most Americans really are. Miss a small amount of work or an event like spring break that you depend on and it's disastrous. 40% of Americans can't afford an emergency $400 expense. Things are about to get really bad. Conversation in general. It's all anyone ever wants to talk about. Honestly, this is the biggest one. If you want a break from the stress and fear-mongering of the news, you can turn the TV off, but conversations, you need them to at least feel sane. Gamers are likely going to be the least impacted by this whole thing because the socialization is online anyways. Can confirm, nothing has changed for me. My dad's funeral. I'm so sorry. My dad is currently dying of cancer at the hospital alone. No visitors allowed. My mom was kicked out of his room a week ago. It's agonizing that he's alone. These are crazy times. Wow. Reading this was an instant kick to the stomach. I feel so sad for your father and family. Yeah, I work at a hospital as security. It's easily been my worst experience here, having to tell family they can't go up to the hospice unit due to the coronavirus locking down my hospital. It's not even in my control. Administration sets the rules and policies and aren't messing around with them right now. Not me, but my mom. Her birthday is on March 17th, and she wanted to go to the casino and out to eat lunch, but then all casinos and sit-down restaurants closed, so she was really bummed. We ended up just getting Taco Bell, since she likes it, and we don't have fast food often. I guess for me, the pandemic has ruined my mental health a bit. I've always had high anxiety, but lately my anxiety has been way too high because the virus is all I hear about. But the main reason I'm super anxious is because my mom has breathing problems, so I feel like it'd be really bad if she got the virus. And she still goes to work several days a week because the place we both work at, gas station, hasn't closed. I was meant to be getting married in 5 weeks. Also, I work in aviation. My whole future has been turned upside down over the last few days. I'm in Australia BTW. It's shocking how fast things have gone to shit here. I hope you can hang in there with a sense of humor, mate. Just think of the stories you'll have for your grandkids. I sat down with my 7-year-old today and told her that this is something that will be in the history books in her future. Respect for my boss has been peddling conspiracy theories and says that this is no big deal and people are overreacting. Nobody can work from home, even though most only need a computer with internet to do our jobs, and is refusing to implement any preventive measures. The kicker, he's the health and safety manager. At this point, is that still his decision? When the government is the one implementing the rule, doesn't matter what he believes, you have to stay home. Period. The area manager at my company is one of these ashats too. Making people physically come into an office that is literally in the same commercial complex as an oven test site for COVID-19. He didn't respond to common sense, reasoning or any appeal to humanity. So I spoke his language in terms that he could understand. If I come to this office, get infected and take this virus home to my family, I will not only file a lawsuit against the company itself, but I will name you personally liable as the decision maker who was responsible for implementing this policy. The next day we were told to work from home indefinitely. I manage a grocery store. This pandemic has ruined my faith in humanity and broken my heart at the same time. I have seen a side of people that I never want to see again. Ugly, vicious, self-centered, fend for yourself attitude. I desperately just want every customer to be well stocked and ready. I want myself and my employees to be safe and not verbally and or physically abused. I want myself and my employees to feel well rested again. And I don't want to see fear/sadness in people's eyes when they need something and either don't have the money for it, it's out of stock, or they're just scared for their future. I think you have to see it as a collective panic attack. If you've ever had one, you'll know that you can't think straight and stay rational. You just want to do whatever it takes to stop the fear. A lot of people have probably not experienced that type of fear before and don't understand it. They're in fight and flight. There are definite but also a lot of scared people, and amongst them, caring people too. People like you working in the shops, the healthcare workers, warehouse workers, delivery drivers, police. You're all frontline now, and you are helping people, so have faith in your own humanity, because you're part of it too, and you're all doing an amazing job and we appreciate it. Subscribe and leave a like. Please.